Hi, my name is Gabe Bauer, and welcome to Behind the Bar, where we bring you historical cocktails that are enjoyed every day. Today what we have for you is a drink that is called the Twin Six. It comes once again out of our cocktail recipe book, Just Cocktails, circa 1939. Now, this cocktail was part of the Favorite Sons, which is one of the regional favorites, but not necessarily one of the really well-known favorites. So it was kind of difficult to find any more historical research, particularly relevant to this drink. But obviously, if you guys know anything about the Twin Six or renditions of it, then please send us that information along. But we're going to be going with the cocktail version that comes out of that recipe book. So to start with that, we're going to put out our cocktail glass there. And we will start out our drink with 1.5 ounces of dry gin. So we got Bombay. And hopefully I'll have enough here before I have to change out bottles. Looks like we'll have just enough for this. Yep, exactly 1.5 ounces. How perfect is that? Now that's empty. Put that away. There we go. We're gonna follow that up with 3/4 of an ounce of sweet Italian vermouth. This is Gallo. It's delicious, very fruity. Nice fortified wine, as all vermouths are. 3/4 of the way up. Let's toss that on in. It's going to add some nice caramel color to our drink as well. Next, we're going to throw in a splash of orange juice. Of course, I'm going with no pulp because I don't like pulp. I don't know if you do. That's more power to you. I'm not a fan. So there we go. Just going to toss in a splash. That's plenty. I'd say it was a good splash. And then finally, we are going to throw in, actually not finally, but next, we're going to throw in 1 whole egg white. Now this is pre-packaged egg whites. I don't have an egg that I wanted to crack open. This is just going to be easier. And so that's going to be about 1.5 ounces. As always, got to be careful when you're working with raw eggs. There's a certain inherent risk when you're going to be working with them. Just kind of accept that fact that, there is a danger with them. But, I mean, if you're willing to take the leap, it's fantastic. And very rarely do you actually get any negative effects to having raw egg whites. But just a little disclaimer there if you're going to work with raw eggs. And finally, before we finish this drink off, we're going to throw in a dash of grenadine. Now, this is our homemade grenadine that we made here in our kitchen. It's made with pomegranate juice, pomegranate molasses, orange blossom water, and of course sugar. So grenadine is essentially just pomegranate simple syrup with a couple of extra ingredients to make it fancy. It smells fantastic, and it's really, really a lot better than, like, say, roses or anything like that. I'm actually not going to need this. Just going to throw in a dash. So just a little bit, throw a little bit more. There we go. Don't want to take away from the other flavors in our drink. Lastly, we're going to grab some ice. Toss that in. And we shake. Now, I actually wonder, back in 1939, as I struggled to get this off, as usual, I may have, yep, this is not, nope, this really doesn't, okay. There it goes. Whew! Nice little workout. Now, I actually imagine back in the day, in 1939, what a Twin Six engine would look like in a car. You know, most of the cars were still pretty new to the world and had a lot of weight. So I wonder if a Twin Six was really going to get you going. Probably would. Hopefully this drink will get us going in the same way. And look at that. There we go. Has a beautiful, nice little foamy head to it. And you know, that looks a lot like beer. I know it's not going to taste like beer, but it sure looks a lot like beer. I probably threw in a little bit too much orange juice on this one, so presentation's probably a little bit off. I'm sure if we threw in just a bit more grenadine, that would also give it a little bit more color too, but we'll work with what we've got. I like beer. It tastes delicious, so it smells good, so let's give it a try. Silky smooth, as all drinks with egg whites are, and very subtle on the bolder flavors, which makes sense, right? Because we only have a dash of grenadine. We only have a splash of orange juice. So the sweet, tarty, very bold, fruity flavors that you would get in some of these drinks, it's just not happening here. We got, we got vermouth and we've got gin, and those are the leading players here. And of course, you get that additional subtle flavor from the egg white as well. That's really kind of unique to just using an egg white, and but for the most part, a very good drink, especially if you really like gin. This is very gin forward, and honestly, this actually is hitting me pretty hard. So I'll give Twin Six its credit where it's due. It's getting me going, just as much as I'm sure it was getting the cars going back in the day. But there you have it, the Twin Six.